basically any institution that requires a lot of authority and vulnerability. Politics, the medical field, teaching, institutions like CEOs, pastors, any male-centered, vulnerable position where they're going to be near vulnerable kids and adults is a prime place for narcissistic abusers to be. And Southern Baptist dogma, their religion, is that men are created to rule, women are created to be ruled over. Women were not supposed to speak. Women were not supposed to lead. And if they had to endure a woman speaking or leading, they were being punished by God. And that goes into politics, that goes into the home. Women didn't get the final say ever. Now, I've been in a few Baptist churches where they did hire women to do landscaping and being in charge of female-centered departments within a church. But anytime there were boys 16 or older, women did not hold leadership positions. Women were to be grateful that they even got a vote for anything. That's the environment I've been in. It was very much like a place for emotional vampires, where they basically suck off each other's energy. They're so emotionally in tune with each other, they feed off each other's validation. I mean, this is a type A personality environment. It's like going to the Oscars. And there's a lot of nice people in Hollywood, don't get me wrong. But it can be a very toxic environment. My family was pushed out of 4 churches. And when I mean pushed out, I meant if they could get away with pitchforks and if it wasn't the 21st century, they probably would have hanged everybody. That's the kind of vicious people. Yeah. The kind of people like from Salem. But in a more benign way, where they're not violent, they're just wicked. And there was a lot of nice people in church. I personally believe most people in churches were wearing a mask. We call them professional actors. Because I knew enough about their kids and their life, they were kidding themselves. And I've researched everyone I knew in all 7 churches. And none of the kids, but one, in 7 churches, even call themselves Christians anymore. They didn't know the Bible. They had no intention of reading the Bible. And if their parents thought they were inspired by God to be a leader and couldn't inspire their kids to read the Bible, they're kidding themselves. Very few people in any of the churches had any clue what the Bible said, and they still voted, thinking they did. I always make a joke that if Christians read the Bible, they would become an atheist. That's probably why a lot of Christians never leave. They don't read the Bible. And churches create an environment that basically worships men and teaches women how to worship men. That's why they worship marriage, virginity, why Christmas is such a big thing. Because of the Virgin Mary, and because they honestly believe they don't deserve anything good, that they're rotten people. And if you've ever heard of the Duggar family, that's the kind of environment I was raised. Luckily, I didn't have any of that Josh Duggar thing, but I've known a few parents who left churches in the Baptist churches in Alaska that were touched or groomed but not harmed. By harmed, I mean physical harm. It was more emotional and social harm. These kind of environments are very, very toxic. And I don't mean unhealthy, I mean toxic. We've been in at least 2 out of the 7. that weren't toxic, but they weren't very